How can you get more motivated to do your music practice? If you've ever found yourself watching the clock to see if your music practice time was up yet, then this is for you. Here are some quick and easy ways to make practice fun again. And the first tip is to make sure you get your why in place before you start. So this is, why are you practicing in the first place? What is it about music that you want to get to that really inspires you? Perhaps it's the thought of getting up on a big stage and playing in front of other people. Maybe it's that community playing in a group and that feeling of doing something together. Maybe you've got something that you want to record. Maybe it's just some particular piece that you really love and you'd like to play it for yourself. Whatever it is, remember what it is that means something really important to you, that is worth putting this time in and is going to give you some real enjoyment in the end. Because having that idea of why you're doing it in place reminds you of the actual end benefit of the practice, rather than having you focused on, oh, this is work that I've got to do now. And an extra bonus of this is that when you get really clear before practice on why you're doing it, that's going to help your practice be more effective as well, because you are putting in place that idea of this is the end result you want to get to, and your subconscious will then help work with you in practice to focus on doing the things that will get you towards that. And the second tip is that you then really want to get really clear on exactly how what you're practicing is going to help you achieve that big why that you're after. And an extra bonus here is, if you look at it and you can't make that link, then that's probably telling you that this is not the best topic for you to be practicing, and you should switch it out for something that is going to get you towards that big goal you've got in mind. And I do really want you to be specific here. It's not a vague, well, getting better at my scales is probably going to help me get what I want, or just improve things in general. You're looking to, can you identify a specific outcome that this practice you're doing now is going to help you get to, and that specific outcome is a necessary step or an important step to get you towards that goal that you're looking for. Because when you've got that down, you're not just connecting to, I'm practicing music because here's something I want to achieve, but you're also very clear on, and exactly what I'm doing right now, here today, is getting me closer to that goal that is really important to me. And the third tip for making practice more fun is to set yourself little games or challenges as you do it. So you're not just sitting there thinking, right, I'm going to practice scales for half an hour or whatever it is. You've got lots of little things that you're doing. So maybe it's this first scale. Can I play it up and down without any mistakes? Or can I do that a certain number of times? Or can I do it at this speed? And maybe you're then going through other scales or different speeds or playing them with different rhythms. But you've got these little mini challenges along the way where you can say either, yes, I've done it, I've ticked off that challenge, or, okay, no, I didn't make it, let's have another try and see if I can get that to work. And this is really important, because every time you achieve some little micro goal, you get a little hit of dopamine. It's this chemical your body releases, which gives you a feeling of satisfaction for doing something. And okay, the bigger the goals that you hit, the bigger that rush is, but it's not a straight linear thing. So if you're just practicing for one full out session and at the end you feel, right, I did that, that doesn't give you the same reinforcement and motivation as constantly hitting lots of little goals. So when you've got these little things that you're hitting every minute, every 30 seconds, every 2 minutes, whatever it is, each time you do that, your body gets a little reward, a feeling of satisfaction, and that is going to increase the fun you get out of it and the motivation. So definitely put in those little things you can tick off, little things you can achieve regularly along the way. And the fourth tip is that you really want to deliberately stack the deck in your favour when you're setting up these games, these challenges. So make sure it is something that you can always win. So let's say your goal is to play a certain passage 10 times in a row perfectly, and that's a little bit too challenging for you. You find you're not doing it. Don't just sit there and hammer away at it until you hope you might eventually get that 10 perfect repetitions in a row. Make the passage you're aiming for a little bit shorter, so it's a bit easier to achieve, or play it at a slower tempo, something that means that eventually, and hopefully not too far down the line, you will hit that challenge that you've set yourself, because you're always setting it at a level where it is achievable. And so going back to the third tip, this is going to ensure that you do get those little dopamine hits, that you do get that satisfaction of constantly ticking things off your list. But the other bonus of this is that it's actually better for skill development as well. You are going to get much better learning from doing things correctly, rather than constantly setting things that you can't do, doing them imperfectly, and actually just getting better at making mistakes in the process. So this stacking the deck in your favor really helps you in two ways. It's going to keep that motivation coming, and it's going to help your skill development in the long term as well. And finally, the fifth tip is to always end your practice session with something that is fun to play and that you can play well. So that means that, even if you've been working hard, you always get something really enjoyable to finish up with. And not just enjoyable, but you can look at it and go, yeah, I did a really good job, because it's something you do well. And this is hugely important, because when you're remembering things, when you're looking back on stuff, your brain actually puts far more weight on whatever happened right at the end of the experience than all the other things throughout the whole period. So if you're practicing for half an hour and you're remembering the next day, well, how much did I enjoy that? How did it feel? You don't rate every little minute, every 30 minutes throughout that half hour equally and average out, well, I was quite happy for 10 of them and really not happy for 10 and kind of in the middle for another 10. Rather, that final few minutes is the main thing your mind remembers. They get far more emphasis than the other time that you're practicing. So if you make sure to finish up with something that you enjoy, then that is going to be what sticks most in your memory. You are going to be there remembering, enjoying practice sessions, and that's a nice place to be. And it also means you're more likely to carry on and do more practice sessions in the future. So let's quickly go over those 5 tips again. So first up, get clear on your why. Second, make sure you know exactly how what you're practicing today is helping you get towards your why. The third is to set yourself lots of little mini games or challenges. Fourth is to stack the deck in your favor and make sure that you can win all those challenges. And the fifth is just to make sure you finish up with something enjoyable, something fun. Now, I definitely recommend checking out my video on how I consistently did 2 hours of practice a day, even while having a day job next. And if you'd like the special practice and performance tips that I only share with subscribers, then head on over to playinthezone.com and sign up for the emails. They're free. I've been Morley-Fletcher. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.